Hello, thank you for joining the Warriors Path CrossFit podcast. I am Chris Perry Tedesco. I am CrossFit Level 3 trainer and a National Board Certified Health and Wellness Coach. I own Warriors Path CrossFit. I'm the head coach here, and I am accompanied today by Coach Chantel. She is a Level 1 trainer, and I will allow her to introduce herself right now. Hi, Chantel.
Hi, Coach. I'm Chantel, and I'm very excited to be here.
Awesome. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate your time.
Yeah, no problem. It's going to be fun.
Yes, it's going to be fun. We get to share you with the audience. Awesome. So let's start out with a little bit of history about you. Where did you grow up?
So I was born in Hudson County in West New York, New Jersey, but I only stayed there until I was about second grade, and we moved to Vernon, which is where my parents still live. So I grew up in Vernon, went through the Vernon school system, and then graduated from Vernon and went off to college, and now I live in Greene, so the other side of the county, which, interestingly enough, when I lived in Vernon, I never knew Greene existed. So
That's funny. Yeah, I think a lot of people that live in Greene now didn't know it existed, but it's a nice little town.
It is. It's a very cute little town.
Yeah. So where did you go to college?
I went to Caldwell College, which is now Caldwell University in Caldwell, New Jersey. So It's about an hour. It was about an hour from my parents' house. I commuted my first 2 years and then moved on campus my second 2.
Okay. When I was born, my family lived in West Caldwell, so I guess that's right there. Funny. All right. When you were in school, grade school, high school, college, did you play any sports or activities? What were you involved in?
I played rec softball here and there through middle school, a little bit in high school, and then I played in the adult league a little bit after college and grad school when I came back home. I also did cheerleading for a little while, not competitively, just for the rec teams in Vernon, but that was pretty much the extent of my athletic adventures. Wasn't really an athlete growing up.
Okay. And what led you to CrossFit?
So my CrossFit journey began as StrollerFit. So 2 friends of mine, one of them specifically, wanted to get a StrollerFit class started. I guess she had some experience with that in a town she had lived in previously. And I had met them through the Green Moms group. And we were all 6 months postpartum with our youngest babies. And she had approached you about starting StrollerFit, and I guess the conversation went, well, you have to have a couple people join. So she came back to a group of us and said, hey, anybody want to join me on this, because I need to get X amount of moms before the class will run. Being 6 months postpartum, I was in need of something to get my body in a healthier state. So I said, I'll try. I'm usually pretty good about trying things for people when they need somebody to be the other person in the class or, to join. So I signed up with her and another mom, and we brought our babies in the strollers, and we started on the StrollerFit adventure. And that's where the story begins.
I remember the kids were getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and I'm like, oh my gosh, they can't sit in the strollers anymore. And that's when it was like, okay, I think we've outgrown this situation.
Yeah, and I think the moment that you realized it was the moment that at least I realized it, that we were outgrowing StrollerFit. Our babies were not babies anymore, and we were not babies in the terms of StrollerFit moving into the CrossFit stuff. At that point, we had progressed with the programming to get to where the other athletes in the regularly scheduled CrossFit programming were. So I think it was the appropriate time to take that leap, and I felt comfortable making that leap. It was time to grow a little bit more.
Yeah.
And I was excited for that next step.
Yeah, I was excited too. And I remember in the beginning, I only introduced you guys to dumbbells and kettlebells and no barbells for a bit. Partially because logistics and strollers and space and
babies
things. Yeah. But also just because I wanted to make sure you built from the core ground up.
Yeah.
And then, I I remember a point saying, do you ladies want to participate in the open? And I think that's when it was like, oh yeah, they're totally into this. Let's do it. And then once you participate in the open that first year, then I thought, okay, we're almost grown out of this. And then when children were climbing out of strollers during class, it was a clear sign. This is done.
I wish there were some video footage of that, what that was, because to be able as an athlete to focus on what we were doing, plus be aware that there were children, very small children in the room, and keep that focus. And now as a coach, being able to look at that scenario, like how I would have acted in that situation, it was a lot going on.
Yeah, it was.
It was a lot going on. But it was always safe. I never felt like we were in a position where something bad, there's always a chance, but I always felt safe. And I always felt like, okay, we're doing this and it's okay.
Yeah, we always made the extra effort to set up in a logistics way that made sense for everyone's safety, for sure. But when they started climbing out of the stroller, that was a little tricky, and we were like, okay, we're going to move on to bigger and better things. So, all right. So then you decided you were going to join the regular class, and you continued on your CrossFit journey.
I did.
Walk me through what happens next.
So I believe I started it 2 days a week, because that's what StrollerFit was. And then I think the moms in StrollerFit had asked for another day. We saw the progression. So we went to 3 days. So I maintained that 3 days. But not being able to bring my youngest provided a little bit of a logistical situation for me that made it harder to figure out how I was going to get my workouts in. So enter my husband, who I really have to give him a lot of credit, because he supported this journey from the jump and saw what it was doing for me, not just physically, but emotionally, psychologically. All of the things were coming together for me, and I was in a really good headspace. So he worked schedule stuff and logistics, and we worked together to make that hour for me to be here in the morning. And so I was able to maintain my attendance at CrossFit and continue for years now.
Yeah, I was always really very excited to see his supportiveness of you doing the program. And then fast forward to Bring a Friend week. And he's like, sign me up, I want to come.
It wasn't exactly like that, but he saw the progress. He saw what it was doing for me. And in the beginning, I think, and if you have to ask him, but he still says it, that he was very surprised how I took to it, because I don't have a background as an athlete. I tried different exercise regimens and programs, stuff through videos, stuff in gyms, stuff through, organized classes here and there, and nothing ever stuck with me. And StrollerFit leading to CrossFit stuck, and I bought in. And then he saw the progress that I was making. And at some point, there must have been a thought like, hey, maybe I need to start focusing on me too, because he's super supportive of me, but he needs to be there too along this journey. So he decided to give it a try, and now he's also a member years in with CrossFit. And his journey has also been really cool to watch. So
it has been cool to watch.
Yes.
And so we'll make a little side note about him and your family. So you
absolutely
are married.
I am.
And you have how many children?
I have 3 beautiful children, ages 6, 9, and almost 12.
Yeah, so 6 was the
baby.
The starting point.
I was 6 months
old.
Postpartum with my 6-year-old.
So 5.5 years into this journey.
Yes.
It's pretty cool. And you brought your husband along.
Brought my husband along.
And now he's totally in.
Do this together. I don't get to coach him very often. Because
which might
he usually
not
has the children. I've done it once or twice, and it was a very positive experience, so that's good. But working out with him, we try to get to 9 a.m. class together, and it has been a lot of fun. It's a fun part of our marriage, and it's done a lot for us in that regard. We're competitive, but it's a positive competitiveness. It's not usually negative.
And it's so cool for your kids to see it, hear your conversations about it. And
yeah,
then when you go out and your family comments on your physical and emotional changes and how your family dynamic is impacted.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
And our extended family, so our siblings and our parents and, aunts, uncles, etc., like, we're the CrossFit people, right? Like, that's how we're viewed. But they also say it with admiration and a positive connotation. They're like, oh, you guys look amazing, or, what are you doing? And we were recently at a family wedding where it was James's large extended family, and I had multiple conversations about CrossFit, and aunts and uncles were like, oh, we really need to get moving or do this. I'm like, try CrossFit. Let's find you a local CrossFit gym and get you moving, because it's for everybody. And that's really, we've become billboards for that, I feel like, but people know us that way, even in our community. And it's cool.
Yeah, and that's cool. The perfect example of what I'm talking about when I say the ripple effect. It just starts with one person making a few small changes, whether it's showing up to a CrossFit gym or starting a different nutrition journey, and how just making those changes impacts the family. When the family buys in, that ripple effect just grows and grows beyond, and that's really amazing to watch.
It's very fun. It's very cool. Yeah, the kids say it all the time, no matter what we're doing, like, oh, it's because mommy CrossFits. Like, I picked up a large bag of dog food and threw it over my shoulder the other day. And my mom was in the kitchen too. And she was like, how heavy is that bag? And I was like 35 or 50 pounds. And my oldest goes, she's strong. It's because she CrossFits. Like, that's the answer now.
Yeah.
And it's great because they see me as strong. And that's not something I've always felt in my own body, is that confidence, and CrossFit has absolutely given that to me.
And it's so amazing for that to be their experience of their mom.
Yes.
I feel that way about my grandchildren. Like, one day they're going to be like, whoa, what can your grandma do?
Yes.
Yep. Okay, so let's fast forward from there to when you became a coach. How did that all kind of unfold itself?
So that's another interesting story. So Chris and I were having a conversation one day, and there was the mention of kids CrossFit. And when Chris said kids CrossFit to me, I'm pretty sure I lit up a little bit. That really sparked something inside me, because kids, I've always worked with kids. I went to college, and then I went to grad school and became a school counselor, and I worked in a high school, and I've worked summer rec programs, police athletic league programs. All my life has been involved with kids, and now I have my own children. So kids CrossFit was like, whoa, another level. Like, okay, what is this? And there was talk about bringing that to our box here at Warriors Path. So I said, well, I'd definitely be interested in starting that class. So the first step to that was getting my level 1. So that's what led me to get my level 1, was the intention of kids CrossFit, but also to be able to coach adult classes as well. So we started the kids CrossFit journey, and I still have hope that could come back around again. Participation was challenging, and it was fun when we had it. So I'm hopeful we can have that. But the adult part, surprisingly, I've embraced more than I thought I was going to initially, because I didn't go into this thinking I was going to be working with adults mostly. I was going to be working with the kids. And since that hasn't panned out yet, it's been a fun ride with the adults.
Yeah, I remember you were so excited to coach with me when we did the CrossFit Kids class for a bit. And then when I was like, okay, well, you can't just have your level 1 and not apply the knowledge to working at practicing the skills. Otherwise, you're going to forget everything you learned. So let's talk about maybe one day a week that you coach the adults, and that'll help you reinforce the knowledge, and then you'll maintain. And then how long have you been coaching? About a year and a half?
Yeah, a little over a year now. Yeah, year and a half.
Yeah.
Probably more. Yeah. It was winter, I think, when I got it, and then started like spring.
Okay.
So yeah,
a year and 3/4 maybe.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep. So what do you think sets you apart from the other coaches in our gym? What makes you different?
I feel like I have big energy. I have a lot. I'm loud, and I can be funny or fun. I'm good at wrangling usually children. And sometimes I love my 6 p.m., 6:30 p.m. individuals, those athletes, but sometimes it feels like wrangling children. So I feel like I bring the big energy. I'm loud, and I'm in a room, and I'm okay with that. That's me. That's who I am.
Awesome. What do you think that your biggest coaching asset is?
My ability for everybody to hear me. I am loud. You're not going to be like, what did you say? No, you'll hear me. But I really pay attention to the athletes, and I get to know them. I really appreciate all of our athletes here, and I've gotten to know them, whether I've worked out with them as an athlete myself for so long or now in my coaching role. And if we have newer athletes, I try to get to know them so that when I'm working and coaching in the room, I can give them the best experience based on who they are and how they learn or how they want to be approached. Some people really like when you're in their face and you're constantly coaching them. Some people like it when you're a little bit less in their face. Maybe every once in a while you approach them about things or specific things to work on.
Okay. I like that. I want to take your class next week.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's big energy. They may not have big energy, but I have big energy.
Don't yell at me.
I don't yell at. I yell, but not at.
So
over.
How do you go about cultivating these relationships with people? How does that happen?
I think that there's time a little bit before class, a little bit after class, in a quick break, just paying attention, tuning into them. If they're walking in talking about their own children or their hobbies or their job or reading their body language, if they're coming in a good mood or if they're coming in a little sluggish or not looking great, just tuning into the person and reading that and paying attention, listening, knowing. And then the extracurricular stuff too also helps out. Our parties or planned events, Friday Night Lights, a bonfire here, a holiday party, the social aspect of our gym, which is a huge piece of what makes our community so great, is that we have amazing people and everybody seems to get along really well. And we're all very different ages, different walks of life, different everything. And it's cool to see it all come together. So I bring all of that with me to every class.
Yeah, and I bet some of the skills that you learned from your previous jobs apply quite a bit to having those skills to make that happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. So walk me through a day in the life of Coach Chantel outside of the gym.
I laugh because it's usually not different, or it's usually so different it's not the same. I have 3 kids. They're young, and they keep me and James very, very busy. They're very active in sports and extracurricular activities, riding horses. So if it's during the school year, clearly getting up, getting 3 kids, lunches made, ready for the school bus, out the door at the bus stop, getting them on the bus. And then I've since upped my 3 times a week to 4, and sometimes now 5 times a week at 9 a.m. So I do my workout class, and then I go home, have something to eat, and then I have like 2 or 3 hours before they come back home where I can clean something, prep something, run my errands, get dinner ready before they even get home, because usually we're running to a field or the barn. Not bar, barn.
BARN.
BARN. Sometimes that gets lost in translation. And yeah, that's...
Come on, kids, we're going to the bar.
No, BARN, where the horse is. Yeah, but we also do a lot of traveling in the summer. We take a week at the beach, a week in the Adirondacks. Sometimes we have a week at Disney. James and I try to get a long weekend or midweek stretch somewhere around a conference or a ski trip or something. So
birthdays,
we're
anniversaries.
Moving. Yeah.
Awesome.
There is no typical day in my life. It's not the same.
So if you were not coaching CrossFit, what would you be doing with that big energy and with the time?
be on a field or sitting at the barn. Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't really looking for something else to do besides run my house and my children. That's kind of my setup as a stay-at-home mom. But when the opportunity kind of presented itself, I jumped on it, and I'm glad that I did. So I'm not really sure what I would be doing if I didn't have that, but I can say that I'm very glad that I made that leap and took that leap and am doing this now, because another aspect of CrossFit that has changed my life for the better. So it's very cool. This journey is very cool, honestly.
Yeah.
I sit here and I talk about this and I think about the last 5.5 years and how much has changed positively in my life. And if you would have said to me prior to that this is where I would be, I would have laughed at you, because working out, being an athlete, physical fitness, paying attention to nutrition, all the things that I'm doing now were not on my radar, and they weren't really on my radar growing up either. Mm-hmm. Even though I grew up in a sports house, like my brother played sports, my sister played sports, but I just didn't. That wasn't me. So it's an incredible place to be right now for me.
I'm so happy.
Yeah, truly, it really is.
I'm so excited for you, because I just see it all happening, and it's like really cool to watch it go down.
And now I'm seeing that with the athletes that I coach. I'm a part of someone else's journey now. Mm-hmm. And that is a full circle moment that still blows my mind at times when I really go down that rabbit hole and think about all of the layers and all the steps that got me to this point. And now I'm watching newer athletes come in, and their body is changing. They're getting stronger. They're better in workouts. And it's them, but I'm a part of that journey. And it's so awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, and actually that takes us back to why did I even want to open this gym, was because of the way that my life was impacted in a similar fashion as yours. I had exercised at home, and while that was great for a while, that became a little bit less exciting, and then I needed more, and that led me to CrossFit, and then that led me to this whole like snowball journey of maybe I should share this with more people, because then they'll have this awesome impact on their life too. And here we are. And so that makes me really proud to have made the decisions that I've made, to be able to have the impact on people like you, and then your ripple effect. And it's just so great. And I just hope that we can impact more and more people as we go through this journey.
We can. We will. I know we will.
Yeah.
They see it. People see it. We're walking billboards of what we're doing here, and it's noticeable.
It is totally noticeable. All right, a couple shifting gears, a couple quick little questions, and like depending on the context of the question might require like a 1-sentence or a 1-word answer.
Okay.
So quick little stuff. How do you balance your CrossFit training, work, family, and social life?
Sometimes they intersect. Social stuff with CrossFit people at the gym, it all comes together. My husband works out with me, so he's included in this now, and my kids are brought into this. So sometimes it all intersects and sometimes it doesn't, but I make it all work because it's important. It all fits in. Sometimes I'm a little crazier because of it, but it's all good.
What types of things do you do outside of the gym that would, if someone didn't know you, make them look at you and be like, what is she doing? Oh, she must be a CrossFitter.
The way I lift things, groceries, heavy bags of dog food, moving furniture or things around, I'm just stronger and I have more energy. So it's in all of the things that I do. Sometimes I randomly stretch in the middle of the living room floor because I'm like, oh, my back's a little tight or something, and I'll just get down, cat, dog. And then the cats and the dogs in my house are like, oh.
Climbing on you. Oh, she must be on the floor.
Yeah,
so
she's on the floor. Let's go see what that's about. Yeah.
She's on the floor because she wants me to pet her.
So clearly my physical strength is far better than what it's ever been. So I lift a lot of things. I lift things up.
Children, too.
Yeah. Yes.
Human beings.
Oh, yeah. I've thrown them over my shoulder quite a few times.
My next question is going to be, has your wardrobe changed since you have been involved in CrossFit?
The audience can't see me laughing really hard, but yes, there is a lot of athletic wear in my closet. Leggings, sweatshirts, tank tops, sports bras, for sure. Yep.
Not things that you had before.
Nope. I'm not in this quantity. I mean, leggings, for a lot of ladies, that's a staple item, but not performance ones that tie and have pockets and do all the things I need them to do. I will never own leggings without pockets. They have to have pockets.
What is your favorite CrossFit movement?
Anything overhead. Hands down, anything overhead. With the barbell, with dumbbells, with the kettlebell. If it goes overhead, I love it.
Your least favorite CrossFit movement?
Deadlifts. For sure. Deadlifts or pull-ups, which I will get there one day.
If you could eliminate any CrossFit movement from your life forever, what would it be?
That's toss up between deadlifts and pull-ups. Yeah, I really don't like them.
But you have to pick things up off the ground anyway, so you might as well keep the deadlifts in there.
All right. I understand the importance. I just don't like them.
Any crazy, funny stories that you want to share, whether it's you as an athlete or you as a coach, and then we'll finish with this last little story that you want to share.
I don't know how many people have fallen off the rower playing the fish game, but I have. And it was a very awkward and funny moment for me. I was so focused on that screen and getting my fish to do what they needed to do on the rower that I was not paying attention to what my body was doing on the seat, and I just lost the seat and fell backwards and landed on the bar of the rower, and it was very embarrassing. And now every time we play the fish game, I am brought back to that moment and traumatized by it. And then I was telling that story to another athlete when we played the fish game, and I said, don't worry, I'm the only one who falls off, and then that person fell off, so I apologize to them in advance.
Yeah, everyone does something funny once, and then they're like, oh, I'm not doing that again.
Yeah.
Whatever that might be.
Yeah, don't fall off the rower on the fish game. Pay attention to what your body's doing and the fish on the screen.
Well, that's the end of our conversation for today, but I'm sure we'll have more conversations in the future. Thanks so much for sharing some of the little things about you and the big things about you, your big energy about you. I appreciate your time, and I'm going to send off with, if you are thinking about making some changes in your life and you're not sure where to start, find a CrossFit gym. Those are the people that will help you figure out what your next steps are going to be. And I'll just finish up with take the warrior's path. Thanks, Chantel.
Thank you, Coach.
Bye.